Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is an end of the month of May Tarot Oracle reading. And Gemini, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Gemini, we all have a little bit of Gemini in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, what house is Gemini in? That's where this energy would show up for you. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck for the overall reading. And we have disappointment in love. So the Four of Cups is representing feeling disappointed in someone, something possibly not working out. This is, the cups in tarot represent love. So this love is quite often romantic love, but it also could be love of someone, or, you know, other than an intimate partner. It could represent love of family, your children, your first family, friends, etc., or something that you love to do or be. And this is talking about possibly you have attempted maybe 3 times to do something that you love to do, and it has failed for whatever reason. It has not been successful. Or perhaps you've given someone 3 different chances to do some, to do a business with, or to someone in your family or a romantic partner. And they're saying, can I have a 4th chance? And you're like, no, 3 times and you're out. So the universe might be saying, give it one more go. This project could really work. If it's something that you love to do or be, but this person is feeling like, I don't want to take a chance. I feel vulnerable. I don't want to be heartbroken again. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't know if I can handle being disappointed again. This in a romantic relationship sometimes means that there's a third-party relationship, like between a couple, that type of energy. So disappointment in someone, something you love. And then we have the underlying energy for the internal forces. Internal forces come, of course, from within. And this is saying that, it's something that is bothering you from the inside. Now, you have control of that, but it's kind of a matter of like the what ifs. Like it can keep you up late at night saying, what if this? What if that? What if I do it this way? If it doesn't work again? What if I don't do this? Will I always regret it? That type of energy. Or what if, they want me to take them back again, and I take them back, and then they do the same thing to me all over again. That type of energy. The what ifs, the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life, basically. So you do have control over that. You don't have control over the external forces very much anyway. External forces are the, you can't control what other people say, what they do, but you can control how you react or respond to the energy. So that's basically what the internal forces are. Your reaction, are you going to react, or are you going to respond with a strong energy? And so the Magician is here, and the Magician says there's an energetic upgrade coming your way. As above, so below. And so this energy is about taking your thoughts and bringing them into physical matter on the planet Earth. And we have infinite potential, to the power of infinity and beyond, to create this beautiful garden on Earth. We have all the tools we need. The bench is full of them here. But we have to figure out how to use the tools and which tool to use for which circumstance. And you may have noticed, if you've ever grown a garden, that if you leave the tools laying around the yard, they don't get up and do the work for you. So you're going to have to put some effort in to have this upgrade in energy. And then we have the 3 of Wands. Wands in tarot represent the element of fire, and the wands are made of wood. Wood feeds and fuels fire. And so this is about taking passionate action. This person here is standing on the precipice of change, and he is looking into the distant horizon. This looks like sand, but it's actually water. It's just the way the sun is shining on it. There's ships sailing by, and he's thinking, I want to get on one of those ships and just go on an adventure. I'm ready for a change. I'm ready for something new to happen. I'm tired of the same old shift, that kind of energy. This can sometimes represent if you've been disappointed with in a partnership with love, that you now are leaving being a couple and moving forward as a single person and just want to start, new adventures, new places, new energy. And quite often this can also represent maybe you actually are going to change location, move, that type of energy. So that's your state of mind, basically your self-image now, how you perceive yourself as ready for an adventure, ready to have something new happen into your life after this, and that you're moving on in a new way as well. And then we have the moon energy. We do have a new moon tonight. The new moon is in the sign of Taurus. And, at the new moon, you're much more intuitive. This is talking about, like, this lobster is climbing out of the emotional waters, and it's quite a feat for him to crawl down this path and stay on it. And he's getting ready to come out of this emotional state, get out from underneath this tree, and move forward, start continuing going on his designated path. And he is feeling quite vulnerable still. And he realizes, I have to climb out of this emotional water, and I have to allow myself to be vulnerable. Somehow I've got to get past this dog and this wolf. They're sitting and howling at the moon here, so that I can get back on my path, so that I can, and stay in between these two pillars, stay on the straight and narrow, so I don't get distracted and get off course again here. Like, I don't want to be sitting under this tree for the rest of my life here. I want to take advantage of this new energy coming in. And so he is climbing out of this water, and the domestic dog represents your, perhaps you've been in isolation, been a real home buddy, just not after this disappointment, whatever this was, you just haven't wanted to be around people, you've just been by yourself. Or you went out partying and you're a real wild child and you need to maybe come home once in a while. So it's talking about staying within these two extremes in a more balanced way. And this is also talking about the eclipse energy. It's the sun, the full moon, and the new moon energy. And what this is also saying is that eclipse season we came out of it was on February 17th, and then again on March 3rd, we had two eclipses. And this energy is percolating on the back burner for like 6 months. So it's been about 5.5 months, 5 months, I guess, more like, no, February, March, April. Yeah, more like 2 months. So there's another 4 months or so around August. The eclipse energy should totally wear off. But this is something that you may look back like around mid-August and say, whoa, I made a lot of changes in my life. But during this time, you're so busy like making the changes that you don't even notice how much your life is changing. And that can be for the better or for worse. And then this is talking about the Seven of Pentacles. Pentacles in tarot represent the element of earth, and they represent your health, wealth, and happiness in the 3D. So this is talking about, of course, this is being shown as a coin because money is a very, very big part of your 3D life on planet Earth. You need money to be able to have a good lifestyle. But this is, you could have all the money in the world and still not be having the lifestyle you want if you don't have your health and you don't have any love in your life. So this is talking about not just money, it's talking lifestyle. And this person is looking at, okay, I've put 6 pentacles of energy into this. I've invested this time, money, energy, my, I was expecting a way better return than this. And this is someone who is normally quite successful. Because if there's only 10 pentacles in the tarot, and you think about, the 10 would be the utmost, that would be the billionaire and trillionaires, and then we would have 9 would be multimillionaires, 8 would be a millionaire, and this would be like probably around 700K. So this is not someone this is someone who's used to having success in life. And generally, if they put this much time, money, and energy into a project or into someone or whatever they're doing, it usually, benefits them much more than this. So they're like trying to figure out, should I, just let this go and quit while I have something left? Or should I continue on and figure out what I'm doing wrong? The energy these days, because of there's not a whole lot of astrological influences coming in right now that are new. Thank goodness, because we've had quite a handful of energy. We had throughout the last few months, we've had I think it was 6 or 7 planets in the sign that moved into the sign of Aries. And Neptune and Saturn are still there, and Neptune will be there for 14 years. Saturn will be about 2.5. Neptune and Saturn, though, are starting to separate a little bit. Like before, they were sitting with each other, like holding hands. And this is really intense energy. And a lot of the other planets have moved on also now. So it's not as intense of energy, but it's really about doing things in a new way. And so if the problem could be that maybe whatever you're doing it in the same way that you used to do it, and it just doesn't work anymore. And a lot of people are experiencing this on the planet. And there's also the energy of Gemini, or of Uranus having moved into Gemini. And this energy just happened. And last time Uranus was in Gemini was in 1941 to 1949. So, that was around World War II energy. And, a lot was going on then. And so it's intense energy, and it's like major changes, like shocking events, alliances changing, a lot of change coming into people's lives. So we are kind of experiencing that energy. And because you're Gemini, and Uranus is in your sign and is going to be there for the next 7 or 8 years, the main takeaway I'm getting from Gemini energy is, or Uranus being in Gemini, is that there's a lot of truth coming out. It's almost like a truth a day keeps the devil at bay. It's that type of energy. There's no temptation like to have any more chaos in your life or anything. It's better if you keep moving forward in a really strong way and don't add any drama to your life in any way, shape, or form, because at the top we can really see this being played out. Every day it seems like there's another truth coming out about systems or governments, or this government in this country and that one. And there's just so much happening around the world right now. And it's like all this new energy. And but Uranus is wanting the truth to come out. Gemini energy is very quick-witted. And so Gemini, sometimes you are accused of being like two people. And, this energy can be like you can change your mind, like tung, tung, tung. Your mind is very quick. Tung, tung, over here, over there, over there. And it's not it's not erratic because of emotions a lot of the time. It's just that your mind is very fast, like you think quickly, and you don't hang on to old energy as much as a lot of other signs do. So with Uranus in Gemini, it's kind of like very quick like that. And bottom line, the truth is coming out, not just in the big scale in the world, but also in individuals' life. So we have your self-image as wanting to move forward in some way, like feeling passionate about just moving forward, like being in a different energy, which is good energy to be in right now. And it's also talking, we have that new moon in Taurus energy. That is about your material possessions. And maybe you need to take a look at that. Like, is there something like if you're planning to move, is there something that you want to let go of possessions wise? Like, is there, like, if you're moving across the water, perhaps you need to, let go of some things that you really love. So, or let go of family or that type of energy. So it's talking a lot about your life on Earth, like the home, the luxuries, and also wanting to feel safe financially. And so a lot of people are feeling that energy right now, where they're feeling like, oh man, with the tariffs and this and that and the price of oil and inflation, and just there's a lot going on for people these days. And this is also talking about your communication from early life. So perhaps your parents, when you were brought up, maybe there was a crisis or something that happened when you were younger and you had a change of lifestyle or whatever. I mean, that could sometimes be divorce in a relationship. And then you became, a child of divorce, or it could just be maybe your parents lost a business, or someone lost their job, and then you had to cut back. That type of energy could be coming through. And then we have this energy here is talking about your emotional foundation, where you are right now, and really you're in an elevated position compared to a lot of people. This is saying that you're on this bench and you're doing all this beautiful work here. So it's saying that people are recognizing that you've mastered some sort of skill set. Quite often this can be, that you have proven yourself to be able to do the job, basically. And so this could quite often can be, you have the certificate now, you have the degree, and from university, you have the certification, that type of energy, to be able to be an electrician, or to be you've done your apprenticeship, you've done your internship as a doctor, that type of energy. And people are looking up to you and saying, wow, you did a really good job. In the entertainment industry, this can be also like people that really shine, actors and actresses. Maybe you've been, Hollywood is noticing you, and you might, producers and directors are approaching you to audition for their next blockbuster movie, basically. This could represent musicians, all of a sudden record producers, and that kind of energy. The agents are coming towards you. So it's, you could be a pro football, or I'm saying football, so we'll go with football. You could be any kind of athlete, really. And this could represent people coming around with scholarships for a university or a college. And then maybe even later than that, now they're coming back to the university and college, and they're actually wanting you to play for a pro football team. So it's that sort of elevated energy. This is saying this is awesome. But what you need to do is make sure that any contracts or agreements you make are in alignment with your lifestyle that you want to live. Be very careful when you're signing any contracts or agreements with anyone, especially in the entertainment industry. There's many, many times where people have signed contracts and regretted them later. They got breadcrumbed, and this is the next card coming up. It's a breadcrumbing energy. So it's saying, like, you don't want to be signing for something and then you find out after that everybody else is making way more money and you're doing a lot of the work. Or another company would have paid you way more if you would have just waited and signed up with them. It's that type of energy, and this can also represent secret society energy. And you have to be careful of that, because a lot of the big industries, especially in the entertainment industry, there could be a lot of factors like that. So this is basically saying, find yourself a really good lawyer that understands these contracts and agreements before signing anything, because your life, if you're sort of at that age where you're ready to move forward like that, your lifestyle could change quite significantly. Like your desires could change quite significantly. So just, be careful what you sign. Make sure you get a good lawyer to look it over, because this energy is talking sometimes about breadcrumbing, that everybody else is making money off your back type of energy. This is also talking about sowing seeds. So the Six of Pentacles is talking about sowing seeds that grow, and then you're able to bring your harvest in. And this person has enough to give to other people, so in charity-wise. So he's giving time, money, energy, whatever that is, investing in someone else in this way. and someone or something. And this is representing, he's using his discernment, he's learning how to give and take, that type of energy. And so he's giving to this person because his discernment is telling him this person will appreciate what he gives them, and they'll use it to better their life. Whereas this person, he's got the scales of justice hanging above their head, and he has no way he's giving money to this person because he can see they've got something in their back pocket here. And they have what they need to move forward, but they're sitting here wanting him to risk his money for their betterment, and without any appreciation or return for him. And so that it's about learning that give and take, and when you sow in your seeds, learning what you want to invest in, and also realizing that the best investment is in yourself, especially when it comes to learning new skills, upgrading your energy, that type, your education, etc. So this is in your creativity, romance, and children. So this is talking about, not over giving to everybody in your personal life, and they disappoint you one after another, and you're left sitting there without what you need now to move forward to do what you wanted to do. It's that type of energy. And then we have the King of Cups coming in here. Now the King of Cups is representing one of 4 kings in the minor arcana. And he is sitting on this slab of concrete on his throne, and he is considered to be the most emotionally available of all the kings. He is wanting to offer a cup of love. Now this can be, for sure a romantic love. That generally is what this is. Or sometimes it could be he's wanting to offer you some support to be able to move forward in a project. And he also is finding it to be like really interesting. This could be a business, someone that wants to offer you a cup of love, like as far as empowering you to do what it is you love to do, or what you love to be. And sometimes it can even represent you yourself, loving yourself enough to get the skills so that you can move out of this disappointment and move on. And the King of Cups energy, he's sitting out in the middle of this water, and it's very rough water. And this is talking about volatile emotions and chaotic energy. So he does have his right foot forward. He's ready to move forward, but he's not going to offer this cup of love unless he feels that it's going to be accepted. So he'll wait back until the time is right. And when he feels that someone is more likely to accept his offer, that's when he will step forward and make it. So this is the internal forces, and now we're going to talk about the external forces. And so there's some sort of communication coming in. The swords represent the element of air. And so this is your thoughts, your mental intelligence, discipline of your mind, that type of energy. This is some sort of information or communication coming in. The pages would work for the king and queen at a pretty young age, 7 to 14. Back in those days, people's lifespan was about half of what it is now. So, they would work, they didn't have childhood like we know it. They would work quite young. And this would be a real coup for them and their family if they got a position in the palace. Generally, they would start off with, delivering communication between people in the palace walls, running errands, that type of energy. And the longer they worked for the palace and the king and the queen, the more likely they might, they would just keep improving their skills. And possibly by the time that they were an adult at 21, they would be considered for knighthood, depending on if they could afford their own horse or not. And so this energy is representing, like, it can be like a breath of fresh air coming in, like a new thought process, an aha moment, so like that kind of energy as well. The communication, in the old days was always in person. But these days, it would be more likely probably to be a phone call, a text message, an email, something that comes in the mail, a delivery of flowers or a delivery of some documents or something like that. This could represent also maybe being on social media and having someone message you there. You know, there's all these different apps that on all these platforms where you can meet up with people and, you know, FaceTime and all these different ways of communicating. And so this is also talking about, you know, keeping, if you want to have new information coming in, it's always a good idea to keep your eye on what's happening at the top of the pyramid. Whatever's happening with the leaders of countries and, you know, of businesses and trend setting and all of that type of energy, that information can be really valuable and might give you that aha moment that you're trying to find. You know, aha, this is what I'll do. You know, a brilliant idea coming through, a breath of fresh air. And this is representing an energy of that youthful optimism, that type of energy. I mean, you could be 40 years old and decide, okay, I'm changing careers and go to school or something for a while and be in this energy. So it's not just about that, but it also can talk about possibly the information coming in about that when you were around 7 to 14, or between the time that you were 14, 21, people maybe that in the past that you've known from that time, that type of energy. And we have, for the external forces, in the position of, like this is the underlying energy for the external forces, and this is for partnerships, commitment, and spouse. So yeah, it is saying there was some sort of heartbreak here, and it was with a significant other at some point. This, you know, this heart has 3 swords in it, so clearly it's heartache, heartbreak. But when you look again, you'll notice like the heart is actually big in context to the swords. So this is more like nails, basically. So maybe it is something you can heal from. This card can sometimes represent gossip, slander, harsh words being spoken. Generally, this means, because it's the sword energy, and the swords are about your emotional intelligence and your discipline of your mind, and that it can represent you know, a heartbreaking decision that needs to be made or was made. And this can also represent someone who is having trouble speaking their truth, their heart's in their throat, that type of energy. Forgiveness and apologies. It can be to do with all of that. So this energy, it's basically saying, because it's in commitment, partnerships, and marriage, that there probably was some sort of energy with your partner, and that would make sense why you are wanting to move on as a single person. All right, and then we have, look at this, we have 10, you've been sabotaged, so this is backstabbing energy. This is someone that there was a lot of energy put into this, a lot of thought. This isn't like someone just kind of sort of doesn't like you. This is like someone wanting you down and out. Like they want you to stay down. They want they don't want you to get back up and get back on your feet and be happy again. So this can sometimes represent an energy of being in a depression sometimes, like if you can't pull yourself out of this energy after a breakup. So, you know, except the thing is, because it's external forces, I don't feel that this is from you internally. This is more someone wanting you in this position. And so this can be over a decade. So you may have been with a significant other. This can all maybe, you know, people in your inner circle, family, friends, etc., people that matter to you, that you had love for. And it's kind of like an energy, you know, this sometimes can represent a third-party energy, a third-party breaking up a couple, that type of energy. So this is saying it's been like, it could be over a decade. It can be over, this energy could be 10 different people, or 10 groups even. And we do have this, where did this lifestyle, where did this money go, and this breadcrumbing energy. So this sometimes can be representing that type of energy, but there is light after the dark, and this actually represents this eclipse energy. So take a look at what was going on back in your life around February 17th and March 3rd. If you want to check it out, I do have new moon, full moon readings for each sign, and you could go back and take a look at those if you want. Just go to the playlist on my channel. And then we have this energy here of the Five of Swords. So this is interesting how this is coming up. This is transition. So whatever happened here, you managed to get back up, clearly. Like, look at, I'm still, you know that song, I'm Still Standing. I think it was Elton John sang that song. And it's, this is talking about this is cutthroat energy. And this is talking about, like, even, look at the clouds, they're even jagged looking. And this is talking about, like, you've already had to fight for what's yours with two people. And you're willing to, if hey, anyone else want to take me on? Because I'm not going to just sit back. I'm getting up and I'm moving forward. And that's the type of energy. So this is, representing conflict, strong conflict coming from the outside. This sometimes can also represent an inner conflict. And because this card is here, it can represent like some sort of, this is outer conflict, like conflict that you received because of someone else's actions, for sure. But you may have internalized that. And if you internalize external conflict, then what happens is you end up being in conflict with yourself. So sometimes this can represent three different versions of you, and conflict within your mind. Because remember, these are about mental intelligence and discipline of the mind. So this could represent, your subconscious mind, which would be formed by the time you're around 6 or 7. And, when we're babies, we're like sponges. We absorb our environment and the thoughts and the way the people who are in charge of our care, the way they raise us, their thoughts, the way they do things, their culture, their religion, all of that energy. And that is heavily imprinted on us by the time we're 6 or 7. And that's right around this age when then we go into kindergarten and we start, having more conscious thoughts of what the world's like, because we're meeting more people and realizing, oh, not everybody's like our family, that type of energy. So the subconscious mind is heavily imprinted on us. And when we go through like heavy emotions, conflict in our lives, that's the first one that pops up, is our subconscious mind. But it really is the thoughts of other people when we were younger, how they dealt with things. And so it may not be the most reliable. And then we have the unconscious mind, which is about our spirituality. And, a lot of people will recognize, yes, I recognize I'm a human being and I have a soul. But from the soul's perspective, you are a soul that's traveling in a human body as the vehicle for getting around in. And if your needs are not being met, then the unconscious mind starts arguing with the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind is what he has a handle on. You see, he has a good grip on it. He knows, I just had to fight with these two people. This is what it's about. And he could relate that back. It's in his memory and he's conscious of it. So this is talking about taking your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind, making them congruent with each other. So they're working together, and that you plug them into your heart, into your heart's desires. So you feel more. And this is talking like each of these swords has two edges. One is your logic and the other is your intuition. So this is about using both to come up with creative solutions for your problems, so that you're not always in conflict with yourself and with others, fighting for what you have. More like you're finding creative solutions to move forward and receive and get what is due to you, that type of energy. So maybe this could be representing that now you have gone through a process, meditating and prayer, and you're back up on your feet, and you've healed your heart, and you want to have this good life, that this energetic upgrade that you've been promised, that you feel you deserve, and you know that you deserve it. So you're willing to fight for that, but you don't want to really necessarily be in conflict with other people or have inner conflict about it. There is no inner conflict within you regarding that. Maybe before, for some reason, you felt like other people mattered more than you did and that you had to put them first, and now you've learned that that's not the case. This is the Page of Cups energy. This could be representing new love coming in now. Maybe someone has their eye on you. This is talking about, this page, his element is the cup. So this is about love, and quite often romantic love. He understands there's plenty of fish in the sea, but he has his eye on you. So someone may have their eye on you and want to ask you out. That would be a good energy to be in. And then we have, oh yeah, look at this. We have a new lover coming through, and the sun is shining on this. So this is talking about a divine couple. God is ordaining this, as saying, this is the perfect person for you. I'm sending them to you through the synchronicity of the universe. And this is someone that you maybe don't know. There's a cloud between you. You may have met before, or it could go back to this page energy, these two pages. And it could be about, maybe this is talking about someone you knew in the past, but didn't have an intimate relationship with, but maybe you were attracted or something, but you then, life separated you, whatever. Or it could be someone you don't know at all, but it's saying this is definitely someone that would not be your normal type that you would date. So keep an open mind about, this person. And this is coming in the form of blessings. Are you wanting to come up? Hi, little kitten. There we go. Were you having a nice sleep? Silly girl. All right. So this is talking. Yeah, I feel like you're going through like a real renewal in your energy. You know how they say the Gemini energy, this twin energy, can be very like you can do a 360, and people say, or do you mean a 180? Well, it's a 180 for about 2 seconds, and then you're back again, all the way back around. So Gemini is very good at adapting to energy compared to a lot of other people. And sometimes people might perceive that as being a little bit cold, but it's more like you just have a real quick mind, as I said before. And so this energy, it's interesting because this month, we do have 2 full moons. We have on May 31st, we have a blue moon, and the blue moon is like when it happens, you know how they say once in a blue moon? It's because it's very rare to have 2 full moons in 1 month. That's why if you're looking for the energy for the Taurus new moon, I didn't do a bonus reading for that because I only have room for 2 moon readings in 1 month in a tarot. So I'm going to be doing next, I will do a reading for each of your signs and for your sign in regarding the blue moon energy. But I feel like a lot of people are feeling the pull of the moon, and tonight we have the new moon in Taurus. And that energy is, I feel like this is saying that you're walking away maybe from a lot of things that you thought you loved, but now you're finding I can love other things too. That type of energy. So that's a good state of mind to be in. You may have received some sort of information, or this person that's coming in has changed your perspective because it's someone different from someone you would normally date. And you're thinking, I really like this, that type of energy. So this is really good energy, Gemini. I do hope you've enjoyed the reading up to this point. I am going to clarify this for those that want clarification. If you're leaving here, please give it a like and comment on the way out, as it really empowers me to build my channel, and I really appreciate that. Also, I'm going to be clarifying now. I'm using my oracle, and it is Tales from the Vector. I started this oracle back in 2007, and in 2020, I completed all of the 64 paintings. And so this is talking about The cards that I put out here are representing the numbers of the cards in my website, talesfromthevector.com. I have a gallery of the paintings there, and the numbers on these cards represent the energy as the paintings in the order that they're represented in the gallery. And yeah, I will put that information in the description box below. I will put the cards numbers in the order that they appear here, so that you can go back and take a look if you want, and you'll know which paintings to look for. So this is, we're talking about the shooting star. This is talking about, having a good attitude. So yeah, like sometimes you have to be disappointed and sit in that energy for a while before you're ready to move out of it. And that's understandable. But eventually you have to decide, like, your attitude is going to be the difference between sitting here for the rest of your life or having like this new lover and all this good energy coming in. So it's really important that you, when you wish upon a shooting star, it means you don't have something, and then wishing means you don't have it yet. So it means that you have to have a good enough attitude to go out and get it, if that makes sense. If you saw a shooting star and you sat here, and you could be sitting here a year later and still like, what? Nothing's happened. No, you have to put your energy into, to get the result that you want. And this is, if you don't, this is talking about having foolish expectations. And expectations will always create limitations. So if you refuse to leave this, if I'm underneath this disappointment tree, and I'm just going to sit there and I'm not dealing with any of this. I'm going to let the universe bring it to me. That's a foolish expectation. You're going to have to apply yourself. If you want a strong future, you have to participate in it. And look at this. Even the magician is pointing to the Page of Swords, saying, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like you're being offered an energetic upgrade. Go for it. You have to open up your mind. You have to be willing to receive what you're having and anticipate it coming in, and not having expectations that it has to be exactly this person in exactly this way, and this is the way it has to be done kind of energy. We have the strength card here, and this is talking about having the strength and the integrity to stay on your destined path and to care enough about yourself to be able to do the inner work that you need to do to heal from this, so that you can have a healed heart and get up. Because clearly when you're in this energy, it takes a lot of courage to get back up, and especially to open your heart up to after you've been through a situation where you've been sabotaged by the very people that you thought would be there for you. And so this is about having the integrity and the strength to do so. And this is talking about degradation of your energy. So the energy is basically saying, if you make, when you pollute water, you're like, people are made up of water to a high degree. A human being has a lot of percentage of your body is made up of water. And it's kind of talking about that type of energy. Like, if I can explain it this way, if someone puts a drop of red wine in a glass of your white wine, they've made it rosé immediately. It right away is going to change color. But if you put a drop of white wine in a glass of red wine, you won't even notice it. It's that type of energy. So you have to take the shame out of your, let go of what you can't change now, and don't let it degrade your energy forever. That type of energy. So if someone puts a drop of red wine in your white wine, and I guess now you're going to enjoy rosé. It's that type of energy. Don't let someone else dump what they've done onto your energy, and you carry that stain for the rest of your life. We have the High Priestess energy, and this is talking about using your intuition. And this is like a lot. This card has been coming up a lot, and so is the Moon card, and it's because of this energy of the blue moon, once in a blue moon. This is a huge opportunity. I remember when I started out teaching seminars, and man, I was I was so excited about doing what I was doing. And I was flying out to from the prairies out to British Columbia and to teach a seminar, and it was snowing like crazy. There was like that day, but it was a blue moon, and I was like, no, once in a blue moon, you just have to get on that plane and go. And I made it to the airport really well, and the seminars went really, really well. Like, and that was, I could have said, well, it's too, like, there's no way I'm going to make it, because they were closing airports everywhere. But I just managed to be one of the last flights that was able to land. So it's that type of energy where you just, you move forward, The all-star energy is talking about your third eye chakra. So again, using that intuition, especially when it comes to accepting any agreements, commitments from other people, or even hiring other people, that type of energy. Look into it properly, because otherwise, use your intuition, and also use a lawyer or someone that, make sure you before you sign anything, that you are making a strong agreement. And then this is talking about abuse of power. So definitely this energy is talking about, someone like this energy that I was speaking of here, where other people are breadcrumbing you while they're making way more money off you, and they might be doing it through devious means. And you may have found this out the hard way, and it can be a really hard lesson to have. Having said that, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And this energy, once you learn this lesson the hard way, you remember it. And then we have the guiding star, which is talking about staying on your destined path. The guiding star is when the North Star energy, your North Node. This is when you're on your destined path, and life starts to it's not an easy thing to stay on your destined path at times, but it's really, really enriching for your life when you do so. At the time, it may not seem like it. At the time, it may seem like other people around you who are cheating and doing things like not doing their best, cutting corners, are better off than you. But in the end, you will find the truth always comes out. And that energy is never productive in the same way as when you're truly doing something that's in your heart that you want to do, going after your authentic desires. Dissension with friends like this, who needs enemies? Yeah, you've been swimming with sharks here. And so this energy, this heartbreak energy, this could have even, if there was a third party involvement, we have the walking away, we have 2 cups and then a space and a third cup here. And this is saying that this could have actually been people from your inner circle. This could be family or someone like that your spouse was dealing with, or your business partner was dealing with. So it wasn't just them. There was more than just them. That you were swimming with friends like this, who needs enemies. That type of energy, which is a shifty feeling to be in, I'll tell you. And so the perception is their perception was that the grass was greener on the other side, and then they find out it was fake, because you know what? It takes a lot to find someone like you that is determined to stay on your path. So this is their perception was off. They thought a situation would be way better for them, and now when this is an energy where you can say like, I'm going to forgive, I'm going to heal my heart. I don't want to be full of hate or anything like that. But after someone goes to this lengths to do this, it's kind of like, I don't want to ever have anything to do with you again. I don't want to hate you. But I want my justice. It's kind of like that type of energy. Ego. So this is about making sure that you keep your ego in check. So when you come out of a situation like this, quite often, when people in the spiritual, field talk about ego, they're quite often talking about people's limiting belief that they have they're just a human being. I'm just a person. I don't have a spiritual side, that type of energy. And if you believe that, then you don't understand what you're really capable of. until you're down in this position. And then when you get back up, you want to make sure that you stay in that power of recognizing how powerful you are, but not turning around and then abusing it. That's the thing. You know, power is a true aphrodisiac, and people who don't have power and have it for the first time, sometimes it can go really, really wrong, you know. Then we have the father figure energy, and this is when you actually, instead of turning frogs into princes, you're turning princes into frogs. And so you don't want to be like getting in the habit of battling for absolutely everything. That's why it's so important to heal your inner conflict, because when you have inner conflict, it talks about attracting outer conflict, and vice versa. If you have outer conflict, it causes that inner conflict. So the best thing you can do is, you know, do your best to heal your heart. And the forgiveness is for yourself, so that you have room in your heart to move forward in a strong way again. And, you know, it doesn't mean you condone the people's actions. It doesn't mean you want to hang out with them anymore. It just means like, hey, I want to be free to be me. And then this is the hermit energy. So the hermit is about going up. The hermit goes to the top of the mountain to isolate themselves so that they can do that healing. And this is talking about when their lantern is full of the light of the North Star, they come down from that mountain, and that's when they take action. And this is going to be a major transition for you. This is in career and reputation, and this one is about a transition in your love life. So again, it's going to be someone very different from who you would normally be. Keep an open mind about it, because this is someone that is really, it's a power couple, someone that really you empower each other. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's saying the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor, and this is already happening on the spiritual realm. The Wheel of Fortune is God's plan and putting it into action, taking action after conferring and deciding which way you're going to go. So this is really strong for you, Gemini. This is really good energy. There's a lot of shift going on for a lot of people right now. I will be doing the next reading for astrological, will be the bonus reading for the blue moon energy. So keep an eye out for that. I do hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a like and comment if you have, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. Bye for now. All right, little kitty.